If we don't take a conscious approach to our parenting, we tend to do what our parents did. That is, we become the parent we didn't want to be. If we grew up in a very chaotic household with lots of yelling and a lot of uncertainty and no schedules or organization, we may well turn into an adult that tends to be disorganized. We yell at our kids, we get frustrated, and we really take it out on them. Things got to take adults who couldn't regulate took their frustrations out on us when we were kids. Kids become a depository of all of the unwanted emotions, and so we do that to our kids. We turn around and yell at them also. That situation is often created too by kids who felt like they weren't heard and that they had to yell in order to get attention. So it tends to come from a frustrated place, and then it gets repeated as a frustration. The second possibility is that we end up self-isolating. So sometimes when we are either things are really chaotic, one of the outcomes is that the child ends up kind of trying to separate themselves. They avoid their family. The other way that we end up with that isolated, avoided thing is that we get criticized for bringing any of our feelings or needs or wants, and we get sent away, sent to our room or whatever to deal with it when we don't have any tools to do it. And so what we learn is just that if we're not pleasing, we're going to get separated. We're going to get pushed away somewhere. And so those people tend to grow up into adults that tend to be avoidant because they don't know how to meet emotions and hard feelings or strong feelings or difficulties. And they'll tend to isolate. That is, they'll tend to kind of push their job for parenting or whatever is up at the moment on someone else, or they'll so that they can get away, and so they use this avoidance technique. Another way that we become the parents that we didn't want to be is that we can get manipulative, right? So if we get manipulated as kids, then, and so that's along the lines of like misplacing responsibility for adult things on children. So this tends to be children who ended up having to take care of a lot of stuff for their parents. The idea being that the adult gets to have all the feelings and all the needs and whatever, and everybody has to cater to the adult. And what happens is that the rule becomes, the unspoken rule is that only adults get their needs met. The kids have to wait till they're adults to get their needs met, and they become these needy adults that try to get their kids to do things for them. And so the pattern of children as parents becomes the pattern in the family. And often these children grow up, they hate what their parents did to them, but they also tend to replay it because they still have so many unmet needs that they have no idea how to take care of themselves. And so they look for someone else to fill them. The fourth one, I had 4 when I started this, was, I forget. Those are 3 of the ways that we become the parents that we don't want to be. And there are more for sure. And if those sound familiar to you, I'm sorry. And it means that it's an invitation for you to show up to your parenting really consciously and really being able to think about what you need to fill in order to take care of yourself to be the parent you want to be, and what behaviors you want to provide to your children so that they can grow up in whatever way you perceive a healthy childhood to be. So you have my total best wishes on this. I'm sorry that you're fighting with kind of fighting the past and fighting these old systems, but please keep going. It's totally worth it, and I know that you can do it.